If you're running a dispenser on Alpine IQ, this one's for you. Back in February 2026, AIQ rolled out something that a lot of operators, including myself, have been waiting for and asking for quite a while. Flows. Now, if you've been in AIQ for a while, you've probably already set up some automations, your welcome messages, win-back flows, birthday campaigns, loyalty triggers. But you were probably doing it the old way, manually building audiences, scheduling campaigns against them, and trying to stitch all the logic together yourself and keep track of it, which is quite cumbersome and honestly quite just a pain in the ass. It worked, but it certainly wasn't pretty. And if you set those up a year or two ago, they're probably outdated, right? And there's a good chance that they're still running exactly as you configured them back then, which means might be time to revisit. And what better time? You got flows. So flows changes all of that, right? It takes the journey logic that used to live across 5 different menus in AIQ and really puts it into one clear visual builder with triggers, delays, splits, channel routing, loyalty actions, and even AI-driven conditions, all in one place. So it's super easy for your team, right? And that's the name of the game in this industry. So you can finally build those automations that are actually as complex as your customer's behavior. So today I'm going to walk you through how it works, and then I'm going to go through and build a real welcome flow from scratch. A channel-aware, split-based series that accounts for email, SMS, push opt-ins, and tracks towards that first and second purchase. And then one more thing before we actually dive in, I did put together a complete guide, which you can see on the screen. A complete guide of flows that I'll include in the description of this video that you can click and grab. So take a look. It's got every node type, full trigger reference, best practices, troubleshooting, all in one document for you and your team to use. So anyway, let's dive in. So as you're looking in Alpine, obviously you're going to go to marketing and then flows, right? You'll see that there. Now to have flows, you got to be on the Marketing Pro or above, right? Package for Alpine. But you go in here, you can see they've already got some pre-built ones. Solid, great place to start. Welcome series, abandoned cart, post-purchase, reorder reminders, win back. Really great ones from a lifecycle marketing perspective to set up. Now these are all going to be basic, right? But you can go a hell of a lot deeper. So let's jump into welcome series. So if you click welcome series, they'll give you a welcome series steps, email or text, right? Or just a text if that's what you like. 6 steps in that one. Or a welcome series, it's a 3-step email, right? So let's go to the 3-step email, kind of show you how it's built. So to start a flow, you're always going to have a trigger. Now, triggers, super powerful. Now, audiences traditionally always had that day lag, right, for the overnight refresh that Alpine has. So it was not real time, right? So you had a customer sign up and sign up in store, first purchase, you send them a welcome the next day, which is fine. I actually think that's probably better customer experience. But with flows, you're not beholden to that nightly refresh. So they're checking for data and updates more constantly. So it's a bit more real time. And they say at least 15-minute gap, if not shorter. So that's useful for things like, hey, I had someone sign up at the front podium of the dispensary. I want to load a first purchase offer in their discount, in their wallet, AIQ wallet, that they can then show the bud tender at the end of their transaction, right? And that's how you can kind of verify it and lock it down so you don't have manual discounts, manual overrides, and that type of stuff. But going back to the trigger, you can see here, you can use all of the audience options that's available on AIQ. And again, there's 200 plus options available. So here you can see it's already preset to they signed up in the last day and they're a loyalty member. Great. So now we're going to send them a welcome flow, welcoming them, giving them that second purchase offer, educating them about the loyalty program, upsell, cross-sell, all that good stuff, right? You can do that here. You can add any requirement you want, right? If you want to just say, I want to say for our heavy hitters, we can say, has purchased the amount. You want to say more than $100, right? And then you can start to segment by spend, or you can say average spend. Let's say that average ticket size more than $100. You might want to talk to those people a little bit different, right? You might want to give them a tailored discount, saying, "Hey, spend $100, you're going to get 20% off," as opposed to your folks that might have come in that first time and spent $25, right? Just give them 10% off, right? So put the appropriate value to the customer. But anyhow, the trigger you can change based on the audience however you want it, which is pretty awesome. There's also, hey, did they enter an audience, right? So if you already have pre-built audiences, that's an option. Did they submit a sign-up form on the website, all right? And you put that URL here, right? Or did they submit a survey? If you built the survey as an Alpine, that's a great one. VIP surveys, loyalty surveys, that type of stuff. Did they receive a campaign? Did they purchase a product? Did they abandon a cart? Have they shopped recently, right? So these are the kind of the canned filters you can use for the trigger to kickstart. Or you can go a hell of a lot deeper, more complex, of course, using the audience options up here. So pretty cool stuff. Again, you can use the contact traits, perform traits, computed, predicted. If you got Jane ecom traits, you can see that there. New function. Anyhow, as you can see in this welcome flow that was a pre-built one for AIQ, all right, the trigger says you signed up in the last day, right? Then you're going to get a, hey, thanks for signing up email. And they've already got just the basic template. Of course, you can come in here and say, you know what, let's actually see what templates they got. Don't forget that Alpine has a pretty solid template library, right? So if you click there, you clear your template, and then you can kind of go to templates, or if you have your own templates, they'd be here. But again, if you want to use what they've already built, they've built a pretty big selection. So, a good place to start at least, and then you change it with your brand specifics. Then you can do with the time delays, right? You see that here, you can change by days if you want to do hours or minutes if you're crazy. Then you send them another email, right? Same thing here, change your content. Then you wait another 4 days or whatever it might be, change your content, all good. If you see on the left side, there's options to add text, add email, wallet pass, native push, direct mail. So any of the 7 channels that they offer. You can give points, you can give discounts, you can update personas, and again, you can do splits. So we're going to walk through all of that as I build a new flow in a second. But again, this is really nifty, really, really awesome that Alpine has rolled this out. You can go super deep with this. So let's actually jump in and create a new flow from the start, from scratch, and you can kind of see how to do it and how to get a little bit more fancy. So let's create a welcome flow that's going to say signed up, or I like to say first seen. You know what? Let's use first purchase. All right. First purchase in the last 0 to 1 days, and I want to make sure that their loyalty, right? It's true. Good. So really good starting point for your welcome flow. You might want to have one, you should have one for the new signups that did not make a purchase. They might sign up on the web, and you might want to have tailored offers for them. So for this audience, they just shopped yesterday for the first time. We want to welcome them, get them that second purchase offer because that is critical, and then flow them through the welcome program. So let's show you how to do that, right? So we've got first purchase was a day ago, right? You can kind of see that. And again, you can move here, you can zoom in, zoom out with this bottom right, kind of reset yourself here with this arrow thing, and they kind of show you a little bird's eye view in the corner. So kind of cool. Super nifty. I've used Klaviyo for years. Klaviyo's got something similar, right? And most ESPs do. But Alpine is actually really, really fancy, really nice. And I actually like it better than Klaviyo, to be honest with you. So pretty cool stuff. So, let's go through this. We've got the trigger, first purchasers yesterday, new people, they signed up for loyalty. Now, The one thing about flows that you can't do yet, and I'm sure hopefully Alpine will adjust that, but is waterfalls. Now, waterfalls is something that is actually pretty unique to Alpine IQ, right? I have not seen that in any other ESP where you can kind of preset email first, text second, push third, or whatever your flow might be, right? Your priority, channel priority. So you can't do that in flows. That's okay. There's a way around it, right? So what you want to do is use this split option right here, right? So let me zoom out so you can kind of see it. You've got a split option. So let's say, okay, I want to say, give me, so when you do split, it's going to open up your criteria for that split. So I want to say, you know what? I want to make sure we're sending email priority number 1, right? So I say split email opt-in status is true, right? So here we go. Yes, no. So if it's yes, then we're going to hit them with the email, right? And then here's where you say, welcome, enjoy this second purchase gift, right? And then you put in your content, I'm just going to choose this for now, right? I don't care about this error because this is a demo. But anyway, you get the gist. So then you got that, right? Now, what about the folks that just give you their phone number and text opted in, right? So you had this split here, right? It says email opt-in status is true. Keep going on the yes flow. For the no flow, do another split. So you might say, right, you want to do something like this. Text opt-in status is true. Okay, good. All right. So this is saying if they didn't make it in the email one first, then we're going to send them a text, right? So then on that, right, and then you grab the text action from the left, throw that in here, and then, right, do something like, I don't have 10 DLC set up in my demo, but for the 10 DLC folks, which is everybody in Alpine aside from my demo, you've got the canned list of things to search for. And don't forget, there is welcome ones, welcome to and then your brand name. So use those. And then obviously you'd get the landing page. So I'm gonna just put in a template for now. So as this goes, that's your text. But what about the folks that just signed up for push and not email or text? Okay, well, let me do another split. So we're gonna throw another one in here, right? And we're gonna say, hey, native push opt-in status is true. So at this point now we're saying the trigger, first purchase was yesterday and they're a loyalty member. If they're opted into email, great, they're gonna go in that flow. If they're not, then we're gonna check, are you opted into text? Great, now you're gonna go into that text flow. If you're not, now we're gonna check if you're opted into push. If you are, great, we're gonna send you the push flow, right? Otherwise you fall out because we can't communicate to you. You can always add the other channels too, direct mail, all that good stuff, wallet pass. But I'm gonna stick with these 3, okay? Now let's go back to the email flow. All right, we had email 1. Now I might wanna say, you know what? What I'm gonna do in 3 days, I wanna send them another email, right? And maybe this is loyalty education, right? So come in here and say, get to know our loyalty program. Okay. Throw in a template, throw in your template, build it out, just like your drag and drop flow. Anyway, and then, you know what? You might say, all right, I'm going to do another time delay. Let's wait 7 days, right? Now, what I want to do next is, for the folks that have not come back to use that second purchase, let me hit them with a reminder, right? So, do another split. So we're going to say number of, actually we're going to say total sales. Number of sales, that's right. Number of sales, more than 1, right? Those are the people that redeemed, right? So you say, well, they made that second purchase, so now they're going to fall out. So if they did, then they go to yes. Or you could keep it like this, exactly 1, if you want them to flow on the yes side, right? You can say that. Or you could say if you had a specific discount, right? discount ID, they use the discount ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You can do that. So sometimes the discounts between your POS and Alpine don't always track. So I like to just go by sales, right? Number of sales. Let's just say exactly 1. They still just have that 1 sale. Now I'm going to hit them the reminder, right? So then there's your reminder. So it's like, don't forget. Right? Boom. Okay. Then, you know what? I want to check another 7 days. Right? Hit them with another reminder. Cool thing is you can duplicate as you're going. See that? So I just duplicated up top. I can even duplicate this guy. Wait 7 days. Let's throw that down here. Which is pretty cool. I can duplicate splits if I want to. I can delete them. So you just right click on those, which is pretty sweet. But, you know, let's say your second purchase offer is expiring, right? So that's that one. And then, you know, let's duplicate that email. And let's move it right here. Come on, what's going on here? There we go. Then you're going to say, you know, last chance. Second purchase offer expires tomorrow, right? And there's your flow, right? So if we go back to the beginning and see, you can zoom out, and if you're using a laptop, you just pinch it, right? Pinch it in and out, on a Mac at least. You got your trigger. Again, our first split's looking for that email opt-in. If they are, then they flow through emails, and that's what we're giving them. You could also say, you know what, I want them to get both, right? I don't really care about their opt-in status. I want them to get both channels because I want this to be omni-channel. Just get rid of that split and say, email folks, they're going to get this. Text, if they also have text, they're going to get this, and so forth. But if you're looking at the email, right, they get email 1, 3 days later they get email 2, 7 days later we say, hey, did you check for the sales? One thing actually we need to add here is, let's go ahead and do this. So I had that split, I just duplicated it. Well, after each reminder, right, I'm going to wait 7 days, and then I'm going to add that split again. What happened? Let's try this again. Hold on. So I copied this split, right? I duplicated it. Let's grab this one, and I'm going to go below 7 days. It's going to ask you in the branch. I'm going to say yes. It's not letting me. That's okay. We're just going to build it anyway. Oops. No. There we go. See that? I accidentally deleted my flow, and then I just did Command Z on my Mac, and it brought it right back. Pretty cool. What I want to do now, though, is I'm going to actually get rid of this. Okay, so I did Control Z again to get rid of that duplicated split. So it didn't quite do what I wanted, but that's kind of cool. You can do Control Z, right, to kind of get that. But we're going to say, okay, here's my reminder 1. 7 days later, I need to check to make sure, are they still only have 1 purchase, right? So that's where I'm going to say number of sales, exactly 1, right? And if they still do, they keep flowing with the reminders. And then I'm going to do one more, right after that last time frame. So then we go here, and we're going to say sales, right? Exactly 1. And that's that, right? So that does that. If they did happen to make that second sale, I might want to hit them with you know what? I want you to leave us a review. Because if they made multiple purchases from you, they probably like you. I like to wait until like that 3rd or 4th purchase to ask for that review, because then they really like you. And then the likelihood of them giving you a 5-star is 90 plus, right? 90+%. But you get the gist. So anyhow, going back out, kind of recapping where we were, you can kind of see, start with your trigger. If you want to do channel-specific priorities, this is kind of how you would do it, right? Because again, you can't do waterfalls. Cool thing is, add in sticky notes here and say, you know, add loyalty updated creative on 4/1/2026, right? Add that in there, boom, that's kind of cool. So you can start to mark up your board. So like a Figma board, Miro board, all that type of stuff. But let's say they made it, they gave us a review. Let's say I want to, we sent them that, leave us a review. Let's send 3 more days. I want to say, you know what? I want to gift them points because they're awesome, right? And then here's, you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to gift them 100 points. And then so they make it to that point in the flow, you can gift them that and then send them a message right after saying, we just gave you 100 points. Thank you for your loyalty, right? If you want to give them a discount, I want to give them a discount, right? Now you need to grab your discounts beforehand. You're not going to see any in mine because this is a demo instance, AIQ instance. But you can actually go in here and create a discount, right? It's going to take you to the discounts tab, which is new and improved, right? Which is pretty cool. So new functionality that Alpine rolled out this past week, which is end of March 2026. So pretty cool. But anyhow, you can create a discount in here, go through that flow, and then link it back up. Or if you have a list of discounts already, you'd see them in this tab. So pretty nifty. If you want to update a persona, let's see that, right? Let's see how that looks, right? You want to say add custom attributes, being like if they made it through this point of the flow, or maybe you're setting up flows saying, did they open the last campaign? Did they do this, that, and the third? Add custom attributes, right? Anybody who, opened our flower stuff compared to our vape stuff, like that's a flower people type stuff, delete custom attributes. If you want to opt people out, saying, hey, I sent them through a 10-part welcome flow, they didn't open one, opt them the hell out. It's a waste of money. So you can do that type of stuff here, as you can see on the screen. So pretty cool. And then when you're done, obviously save your draft. It does not auto-save. Put your name, add a tag, loyalty. When do you want to start it? Attribution window. I would not do 14. If you want to enable re-entry, so that's good for your loyalty upgrade triggers, birthday, you can set that. You can set that, like birthday, for example. I want to say, let them re-enter every 355 days, because you might have like a two-week birthday flow. If you have loyalty triggers for upgrading, if they unlocked a reward or a tier status, maybe set that to 30 days so they don't get bombarded. That's always nice. Have your start date, when you want to launch this, if there's an end date. This is really nifty here. There is reporting that comes out of this. So you can go to review report. This isn't a live campaign, so you can't see it. There is a function, you can't see it on the screen, but analytics, you can start to see the analytics in each step. How many people got it? How many people bounced? What was the open rates? What was the clicks? What was the conversions? All that shows up, which is really awesome. Message report, you can send a message report to your email, which is really nice. You can also see up here, if you want to duplicate flows, come right here and do that. Conversion report by persona, if you want to archive a flow. The other ones in here, you can see abandoned cart, right? So if you click on abandoned cart, this is just saying they abandoned their cart in the last day. Alpine's abandoned cart feature is 2 hours, generally. Since someone abandons their cart on their website, as long as you have that pixel set up, that integration set up, it's about 2 hours. And then you can set up a day later, let's hit them with a reminder, and maybe 5 days later, let's hit them with an incentive if they are 60 days since their last purchase and they've spent at least $100, right? So you don't want to train them, right, to just always abandon their cart so they can get a discount, but you can start to get a little fancy with it and use the splits and the segmentation to do so. Going back here, you'll see post-purchase, win-backs. Win-backs is quite built out, which is great. High AOV win-backs, so that's awesome. Right, you can kind of jump in here and see loyalty member, the average ticket size is over $100. You kind of see, like, look, we're going to give them a discount right in the tool, which is nice, right? Did they purchase in that 15 days, or you can even say, did they use a discount? You can kind of see for win back, there's a ton of stuff in here. Category specific win back, right? Let's look at that. Give them a discount. all that good stuff. So a lot of fun stuff out of the box, pre-built wise, which is great. And don't get me wrong, I usually avoid the pre-built stuff in the past, but they actually set you up really nice. And loyalty rewards, did they first earn points? VIP recognition, are their points expiring soon? Did they just upgrade to just unlock a new reward? There's a whole bunch of stuff, which is really nice. So check it out. And like I said, there's a link in the bottom of this YouTube video, which will give you a true step-by-step guide, and I'll show it on the screen now. So you can see, what is flows, what are you getting in this guide, the sections, what's flows versus the old way, before you start, things to think about, what package you need in Alpine, nodes explained, all the trigger nodes, all that good stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. So I won't go through all of it, but this is going to give you a real deep dive. And if you have questions, you reach out to me. I'm here to help. I want to make sure your business uses flows. It's a really good time to take a look at your automations that are currently set up that you probably haven't touched in quite a long time, and it's time to refresh them. So if you found this useful, give me a subscribe. I appreciate it. Send me an email. Let me know what you think. Brett at PineLensMarketing.com. Have a good day.